life in the life of a 43-year-old divorced single mother living in Marin County, artist, full-time transaction coordinator, but that's not who I am. Those are just things I identify with and the parts of my life that make my routine, you know. I want to start a channel because I just feel like it's really intuitive need to speak, and I think there needs to be more people speaking out, and I'm grateful for YouTube. And a lot of people make fun of people who watch YouTube, but you can't get information, honest, true information from the news anymore, and you have to seek alternative information. And I'm really enjoying listening to other people's thoughts, and I'm so grateful that we have the World Wide Web to actually get information, much more information, a bigger variety of people's thinking. And I'm grateful I'm seeing a big movement of people's voices out there, and I think it's subtly helping. It's definitely encouraging for me. I also feel validated in a lot of my thinking, the way I think, because in my own smaller circles, the way I think doesn't bode well with some people, and for the longest time I felt so alone and so crazy. But I didn't give up because I guess I somehow trusted myself and my intuition enough to just break free from the influences that didn't feel right to me, including church and the small town I grew up in, and just certain people in my life who wanted to control me or who didn't want me to expand myself because it made them uncomfortable. And I really just stepped out of my shell and out of the box and put myself out there like so many people, and I'm just like, what is this world? What am I doing here? What is wrong? You know, there's so many people who are suffering, and they're like not feeling like they even belong here. And I hear that every day, and even people who are seemingly well are just so fed up with the way the world is. And I have a voice through my writing, but I feel more and more like I need to speak and I need to share from my heart. I'm able to do that now. It took me about 10 years to even have a voice after, let's say, I've never had a voice until the last few years, I would say. And I couldn't even speak. I couldn't articulate well. I couldn't form my thoughts out of my mouth. And my writing, though, however, was way articulate, and that's the only way I could communicate how I was just feeling so passionate. And it bothered me because if I'm in a group of people and I want to share my passion, my words weren't forming out of my mouth. So I spent a long time focused on how I couldn't talk, and then I kind of put it out in the universe like, I want to learn to articulate my words the way I write. And during that time, I don't really put two and two together, but I had a boyfriend who read the tarot, and I loved it. I was like, this is an amazing art. I want to learn it. These cards are beautiful. I was so drawn to the tarot. And he was like, you're pretty much a natural, because I was catching on really fast, and he would make me read his cards. And then I just really got into it and spent a good 2 years studying each card and practicing on friends and just reading my own tarot, and just putting myself out there as like someone who could read your cards. But at one point I realized I'm getting good at this, and I could probably step out a little further, and something urged me to
call the farmer's market, the local farmer's market, and see if they need a tarot reader, and they actually really wanted one. So someone donated me a canopy, and I was scared shitless to read people's cards who I didn't know. And this was like 2 years ago, so I had experience reading the tarot, but I wouldn't say I was as good as I am now, for sure. I mean, you never stop learning the tarot. So it was a real leap of faith for me to put myself out there and to read cards for people who I didn't know. And I had all these fears come up, like, what if I can't read the cards, or what if my words don't work, or what if people get mad and think I'm, full of shit, or, all the fears that we get when we're stepping out into something new. And I just didn't listen to it. I was like, no, I feel the urge. I feel excited, so I'm going to listen to that excitement. And I started reading at the farmers markets, and it's been amazing. And I haven't had one person leave my tent upset or, thinking I'm a fraud. In fact, a lot of people come in skeptical and leave with like a big smile on their face, like, wow, And I was reading tarot, and suddenly my mom got sick and passed away. There's a point to my story. And when she passed away, I lost my ability to write, and I write daily. My writing flows like fire from my fingers, and I couldn't write to save my life, but I didn't really worry about it. I just kind of like realized it's going to ebb and flow. It's a creative process, so I started doing more tarot readings and getting really able to speak to people. I mean, when you're on the spot and people are asking for your guidance, especially spiritual guidance, it's really imperative that you speak with authority and with conviction and with articulation. It's good to articulate. I didn't want to sound like a moron, so I was forced to learn to talk. And one morning I woke up, and I just kind of said a prayer, and I was like, I don't know why you took away my writing, universe, but thank you for the tarot to replace my creative energy. And then something just went into my gut and said, we took that away so that you learned to talk, so you could articulate your words, and now you have both. And then my writing came back, and I was just like blown away at how the universe just magically works that way, or how when I put out an intention that things just happen, and you listen to your intuition despite your fears, how things just come together. And it's just like I got to finally learn to talk. I was on the Oprah show with my mom in 2005, and it's a long story. I will probably share that on my channel. But it was not a good experience. I was on there for a DUI I got, and it was humiliating. And I was on a half-hour segment, and Oprah was not nice. She was harsh. She didn't even talk to us during the commercial breaks, and I was nervous as all go get, and shaking, and I held back my tears the whole time until the end of the segment. But I just remember sitting in the audience and bawling my head off because I could not speak what my heart was saying. I couldn't articulate myself in front of the world, and that devastated me. I think more than being humiliated in front of the world, the fact that I couldn't even speak on my own behalf was so detrimental. That was the win. I think that is the only thing I got from that show, was seeing how devastated I was that I didn't have a voice for my own self. And I think that moment was a turning point for me. And all these years I've been like, what was the point of that show? I really didn't get anything out of it. I don't even see the lesson behind it. But I think today I realized that was that moment when I knew I had to have a voice. I had to get a voice. And I'm so grateful for that experience now.
I want to thank everybody who's doing channels and speaking truth and sharing their experiences and just blowing the top off mainstream media and the deceptions and just the crap that the war against humanity that's happening. I am so grateful that I've had YouTube to tap into, because there was a time when I was so confused when my body was telling me one thing, but everyone else was parroting another thing, and I had nothing. I had no one. I couldn't identify why I was feeling so off until I just went on the web and started seeing people like me who were sharing information, who were giving truths that I've known my entire life. And there it was, you know. And a lot of people say you can't get news and information from YouTube. That's just a big trap. And you know what? There is a lot of crap on YouTube. There's a lot of junk. There's a lot of disinformation and misleading information. But when you start shedding layers and layers of your inauthentic self, and you realize what truth is versus lies, you can tell the difference. And sometimes you have to go through the crappy stuff to get to the other side, to get to the truth. So for me, that path worked, you know. And now when I watch news on TV, which is rare, or when I find out what's going on in the mainstream, I can just see right through the bullshit. It's nuts. It's like right in your face, and they tell you the truth. That's the weird thing. If you listen, the truth is always right there. The whole Serena Williams meltdown, I saw the truth in that everybody that my circle of people were missing, and there's this debate whether it was a sexist thing that happened to her or not, and that wasn't the truth. There was a deeper truth to that whole story, which I won't get into right now because I think this is long enough, but hopefully this is my first video of many. I'm just winging it right now. I'm driving. I haven't even taken a shower. I just felt the need and the urge to speak and to say what I just said. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. I think we need more voices, and I'm here to encourage everybody. Please use your voice, because that is all we have in this world right now. The people's voices. That's all we have. And it's the only way we can wake the sleeping masses so that we win this battle, the spiritual battle that's been going on for generations. And it's coming down. It's coming down to a quickening where people need to wake up. We need to be who we truly are. We need to step into our power. It's happening so fast, and I'm not going to ignore the calling anymore, because it's actually ruining my life when I'm trying to live inauthentically of who I truly am. And I can't even do it anymore without terrible things happening or me feeling miserable. So I love humanity. I love the collective. I feel like I'm here for a reason. I will share my books at some point. My name is J.L. Forbes like the magazine, and you can find me on Amazon. And I feel like I have a very strong message, and I hope to hear from everyone. And